Okay, today's video I'm going to teach you how to install these seamless engineer floors. As you can see, we have all the closets, shoe moldings, hallways throughout the house without any transition, and I hope you enjoy this video. Install your engineer floor, in this case this kind, around your frames and the doors. You must cut the casing. This is the casing, and what we want to make sure is that it kind of slides in freely, so you actually use it right on top of the padding that you're able to use. I'm using a Bosch oscillating saw. It has different speeds, 12-volt battery, really useful for many things. And this one has actually a metal and a wood saw, in case of you finding small, traces of metal or nails. Place the molding or the piece of engineer floor, the cut, right next to the door stop. In this case, I already cut this one. So apply the glue. Using a flat screwdriver or small wood chisel, you can remove the leftover. Make sure that you can actually check if it slides in, and you do that all around your house or the areas that you're going to do it, so you will have a nice finishing once you're done finishing the engineer floor. Cut all your pieces, in this case the door stopper and the casing. You proceed to make the proper or respective markings for the cutout that you're going to do to the piece. In this case, I'm using a small piece, using engineer floor that has the lip to the continuation. The reason is that closets are really tricky to work with, and you want to avoid long pieces, especially at the entrance of the door frames. Place it right next to the edge of your frame, do the mark, and come back to the other side and do the mark respectively. Using a regular square, made a line, and then proceed to cut with your miter saw or whatever tool you're using to do it. You make the notch in your piece of engineer floor. We proceed to install the piece on the location that you decided to put it. Using again a piece of wood with nice edges, we're gonna heat in a uniform way the piece, so we can slide it in right on the upper edge instead of this one. We want to make sure that that one is preserved. And that is how you get some nice perfect edges right around your casing and door moldings. Right now, project of the entire house, putting some engineering floors. I'm going to take this room as an example. It used to be carpeted, and it's normally when you have a carpeted floor, you have the carpet, you have the spikes that will temper the carpet or pull it together, and then the padding. The padding is some sort of a foamy material. Now, you gotta remove all the stuff, cut that in sections, take it away from the house, take or nail down or hammer down all the staples away, all the little nails and all the stuff. You want to have the surface clean and free of any fasteners, so you're able to work on the stuff. After that, you need to work on the casing and the door stoppers. You want to cut them a little bit, trim it a little bit, so you can actually slide the engineer floor, like I'm going to show you in a moment. Then you put this type of padding. The padding is meant to support all the moisture and hold it all together. So you gotta put it, the way you feel like in this case. And then they overlap. They have a glue and they will overlap, and they will keep all the moisture away from the floor, and it will give you a little bit more cushion. Padding down. We already installed it. We have some little pieces for the closet. You proceed with the installation of your engineer floor. Now, as I explained a moment ago, you probably the time that you're going to spend the most is around the little edges. Make sure that you do that with patience. I mean, it requires patience, to be honest. If you break a little thing, just take a deep breath and then do it again, so you will not see the little hole for the rest of the life of the flooring. So, but in this case, we already went through the hallway of the entire house. We have some rooms and living room, and I want to show you how you interlock these things. Previously, I cut this piece. Always make sure that you work with the grooves, because that's what's going to interlock all the material. In this case, I left the little edge, and I'm proceeding to install it. So it's probably like playing with Legos, pretty much. That's how I can describe it. Since you're not nailing this thing down, at least right here in the middle, and you gotta be careful that it's nice, the seams are, completely straight. Now, when you wanna install this piece, you wanna interlock it again. This wasn't a small piece, we'll start with a full piece, and vice versa. That's why I have some little cuts that are leftovers of the work, but never throw them away. They always work for. They'll help to do a little small areas. Alright, and in fact, if you do them nicely, you don't waste a lot of material. So, again, put it over here. Press it down. Obviously, I'm putting a lot of pressure this way. And you see it's beautiful, seamless. Alright, the next one is going to be a little more tricky. Remember, we have the edge pointing that way. I'm starting from here from left to right, because apparently it's better for me right now. So I'm going to start by putting this, leaving like an eighth of an inch over here, a gap, putting it down, and doing a little interlocking over here. In this case, I didn't need hammers at all, although you always work with a little piece of wood and hammer, obviously pencils and all that stuff. And at the end of the year, you said, okay, I have a big lid, I need a little edge. Since we don't have little edges or grooves like this one, so you're going to measure this one against the wall. Alright? You're going to mark it over here right next to the line. Make a little symbol so you know exactly. Sometimes they're two equal. You want to make sure that you're level. And you cut it with your circular saw, your miter saw, whatever engineer flooring saw that you have, and that's pretty much it. When you're getting too close to the door frames and the closets, you may need to get a little more curious than the way you actually make your cuts. And this cut is to make a proper transition without any type of threshold. I like to avoid all those things as much as possible. So you make the respective measurements, and then you make the proper cutting.